That's true.
I don't know.
How you doing?
Good, how's it going, Brett?
Good.
Okay. Welcome, everyone.
Hello. Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Welcome to the 2016 FIRST Robotics Competition Volunteer Information Session / Lunch and Learn, BYOL. So I'm glad you guys can make it. Who here has been to FIRST Robotics in previous years? Yeah, so half, maybe a quarter, maybe a third of you. Awesome. Well, thanks for your interest. For those of you who don't know me or who I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Wendy Lynch. I am on the U.S. Government Relations team, and my role for Global Foundries is actually to lead all of our strategic education and workforce development initiatives at a corporate level. So oftentimes what we do is we start programs at Fab 8 and we actually roll them out across the United States. So Global Foundries is a big supporter of FIRST. You've probably seen press releases and kind of in the Fab 8 download, some articles here and there. We started a STEM coalition, is what we call it. It's essentially a coalition of 18 business partners who came together last year and raised over $500,000 in support of STEM education through FIRST Robotics over the next 3 years. So it's a big passion of Tom Caulfield's. It's a big passion of ours, and we have a lot of employees all throughout Fab 8 and the other fabs actually who probably their kids have participated in some of the programs. Do you have anybody here who has kids? All right. So all the programs, right? FRC, FTC, FLL?
FLL, FTC.
Very cool. Okay, well, we're here today to give you an overview of the FIRST Robotics competition for 2016 and some of the volunteer opportunities. with the hope that you will sign on and participate. So Brett here has been involved for quite some time, and I'm going to hand it over to him to give you a full overview. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Yeah, just a little bit about myself. I'm Brett Brimhall. I've been here in Global Foundries just over 5 years, and I have now been involved in FIRST Robotics. This is my 5th year. I first got involved just as a parent when my son was on Team 20 with Shenandoah High School in Clifton Park. I would do a lot of various things, supporting the team, traveling with the team to the various events, started doing photography and videography. And 2 years ago, when they started the local event here, is when I started to take a more active role. And since then, I have participated on the regional planning committee for this event, and continue to work in various ways to help support that event. I'm an industry liaison and ambassador, and do what I can to support FIRST Robotics and Global Foundries involvement in FIRST Robotics. So I'm glad to be here today just to give you a little overview of what this is all about. I know some of you have participated in past years, and thank you. I'm glad to see you again. Some of you I know are just here checking it out for the first time. I also would like to mention Dina O'Lory as our guest here today from Turner Construction, who is also one of our sponsors. Turner is a great supporter, and Dina has graciously volunteered to be our volunteer coordinator this year, which is a big role. She is basically the big matchmaker, taking everybody's applications with their various interests and skills and matching them up to the roles that we have within the system. So thank you, Dina, for coming up here today and joining us. So I just wanted to start off a little bit, provide an overview and background on what FIRST is. So FIRST is an acronym. It stands for Inspiration and Recognition of Science and Technology. And it's just a lot of fun. It's a technical experience that is competitive. It's very much like a sport. It's a great opportunity. It's a great way to get involved in the community, to develop relationships, and it really is an amazing experience. And that's why, even though my son has graduated and moved on, I continue to be involved. So just a quick overview of FIRST's programs. They have programs for younger kids in the elementary schools, the FIRST Lego League Junior, and then as they get a little bit older, the FIRST Lego League. You can see the grades, K through 3, 4 through 8 are the age groups that those programs are targeted to. And FIRST partners with Lego with their Lego Mindstorm kit, and that's used as a part of the competition and the activities that they're involved in. The FIRST Tech Challenge is a little bit bigger, but it's not the premier program, which is the FIRST Robotics competition. The FIRST Robotics competition is the premier program within FIRST. It's big, and there's a lot of money involved to make it run, and it's what I'm here today to talk about. So FIRST Robotics competition, sometimes they refer to it as the varsity sport of the mind. So it really is like a sport. It's very competitive. There's a lot of strategy and things like that. So students build and compete with robots using their own design. And the way they're able to do that is because people within the community volunteer to mentor and coach them through this process of conceptualizing the robot and doing the design, the fabrication, the building, all of that. This would not be possible without people volunteering at the team level and getting involved with the various local teams, so weekly and in some cases daily. Throughout the FIRST organization, there's upwards of $25 million in scholarships available. So people who get involved in FIRST provides a lot of opportunity for them. So just to give you a background, this is, I believe, the 25th year FIRST has been around. But going back 4 years ago, the game was called Ultimate Ascent. It involved frisbees for which robots would pick up and try to shoot through a goal, and also try to climb a pyramid was the challenge. In 2014, they called it Aerial Assist. The robots had to handle large exercise balls. The rules of the game were such that you needed to pass it from robot to robot, and you got more points that way before the goal, the ball is scored to the goal. Last year, Recycle Rush, a little bit more of an industrial theme where stacking totes, recycling of the garbage cans and the pool noodles were considered litter, and so it presented a great challenge to teams trying to handle and deal with all those things. So this year is what they have called FIRST Stronghold. This is a medieval theme, and I'd like to play the reveal video that was just released about 1 month ago. All right, so there you are. Very interesting. It's actually a rather complex game. I was looking at the game manual earlier. It's 113 pages in the game manual. So there's really a lot to it. And typically what will happen is the students will spend, after the game is revealed, will spend the next several hours, even the next couple of days, digging through the game manual, trying to understand the details of the game before they even really begin to design the robot, because that's really part of the strategy, is really understanding the game, how it works, and decide, you know, what you want to do with your robot. A lot of different ways you can focus your robot through, you know, handling these boulders, to climbing the tower, to scaling the defenses, things like that. So it'd be very interesting to see how it all turns out, and see how, when every team shows up with their robot, what their thought process was, and what they came up with. So right now we are in the middle of what is called build season. Build season started on Saturday, January 9th, when this game was revealed as a webcast to the world. And the teams basically have 6 weeks to develop their strategy or their concept, do their design and prototype, begin fabrication of the robot, start to connect or assemble all the various pieces, begin to program the robot, and once they have a working robot, then they can start to exercise the robot, work the bugs out, tweak their design, and then they finish on Tuesday, February 23rd at midnight. And they do what they call bag and tag, where they actually will put the robot in a bag and they seal it with a seal, and they are not allowed to touch the robot any further until they arrive at competition. Now, some teams who have resources actually build a second robot as a copy, and they can do with that what they want. They can continue to exercise that and play with that and tweak that and get to know their robot. But the competition bot is sealed, and that cannot be accessed again until they show up at the competition. Excuse me. So after build season, then we transition into competition season. So competition season begins March 3rd. I actually have a typo there. That should be through April 30th, I believe, is the championship in St. Louis. But at each event, each of these 127 events, there's roughly 30 to 60 teams per event. They're all across North America. Again, the first championship is in St. Louis this year, the April 27th through the 30th. Approximately 600 teams will show up to this event. It's pretty massive. It's held in the Edward Jones Dome, and they had 8 fields all simultaneously. They call them divisions, and they'll divide up into about 75 teams per division, and have a tournament elimination rounds the last day there. So why volunteer? Lots of different reasons. I think it's pretty obvious. Obviously, because it's a great thing to do. It helps the kids. It helps to promote the real world experiences. And one of the amazing things for me, being in factory automation and equipment engineering, is how closely what I deal with on a daily basis correlates to what I saw my son deal with on the team, in terms of just working with the team, working through technical challenges, design, dealing with breakdowns and reliability, thinking about maintenance, all those things. But there's a lot of opportunities to get involved and benefits from just getting involved in the community, developing a network with people, and just having a lot of fun.
And if that's not incentive enough, Gary Patton is actually going to be delivering executive remarks at the event. So if you want to meet Gary, come to FIRST Robotics.
Okay, so you could volunteer as a team mentor. The teams need volunteers, particularly during their build season. I know with the experience my son had with Team 20, they met 6 days a week. They would meet every weekday night for 2 hours. They would take Friday night off, and then they would meet for 6 to 8 hours on Saturdays and Sundays. And so it's really this marathon for 6 weeks, trying to get through it and have a robot at the end. Other teams have different schedules, but they need a lot of people to step up and help. If you have any interest in getting involved in that type of way, there's a huge need for all the various teams to have mentors and volunteers, both from a technical standpoint and even non-technical. Another way to volunteer is as an event volunteer, which is primarily what I'm here to talk about today. But going back to the mentoring roles for the teams, there's various technical roles that you can mentor for and support the team with various non-technical roles. This map just kind of shows you where some of the local teams are. We're trying to form new teams and grow the robotics movement. We've actually were able to, through some of the contributions of the sponsors, fund 3 new teams this year. And we're hoping that over the next few years we'll be able to continue to grow the formation of new teams. This is just a quick list of some of the local teams and some contacts if you would like to get involved. Some of them you may live nearby, which would make it relatively easy to get involved with some of these other teams here. So let's talk about the event. It's called New York Tech Valley is the name of the event, and the name of the regional. As you came in, you may have seen the highlight videos from the 2 past years. That's the thing that I love, and what I have been able to do. I've been able to do the videography for the event, and I planning to do another highlight video this year. The event is at the East Campus Athletic Village on the campus of RPI. Beautiful facility. It's their basketball arena, but it's got a lot of other facilities within the building. The dates are Thursday through Saturday, March 17th through the 19th. Here is our list of sponsors. A lot of them are suppliers to Global Foundries, but others are just other technology-oriented companies within the region who have been long-time supporters and sponsors. So here is the list of teams. We have 36 teams that are coming to this year's event. I have highlighted the teams in blue that are not from the state of New York. We have 3 teams: Ohio, Hawaii, and Massachusetts. And we even have 3 teams who are not from the country. So we've got 1 team coming from Montreal, 1 from the Netherlands, and 1 from China. So 4 countries are represented. We will have 4 national anthems to begin our day. It'll be kind of cool. So what do we need to run the event? We need approximately 140 volunteers and anywhere from a 1 to 3 day commitment. Some roles do require a 3 day commitment. Other roles do not. Just depends on what the role is and obviously how much you would like to participate and get involved. But one of the things that we're hoping to do is develop a local contingent of trained people who know what they're doing and continue to come back year after year. Obviously, this is our 3rd year, so we're slowly building. A lot of the key roles are people who've actually done this for many years out in Rochester or in New England, and they come out here for this event. So they have a lot of fun, but they are well trained. So here's some of the key volunteer positions: the control system advisor, the first technical advisor assistant, the game announcer, the referees, the judge advisor. You can see these others here. The MC, Angry Eric, is quite an icon in the New England area. His red mohawk is very distinctive, and he's a great entertainer. He makes it a lot of fun. Judges are typically prominent members of the community. We do have 4 judges this year from Global Foundries: Bill Fosnight, Nabil Alali, John Pellerin, and Emily Riley are going to be the judges from Global Foundries. Others from the various other sponsors and from within the community. Here are the various judge awards that the judges help to judge for. Some of them are technical awards, other awards are not. The Chairman's Award is considered the most prestigious award. That's really an award for the team who really goes out of its way to help build the robotics movement and expand the robotics experience, and helps other teams, helps form other teams, that kind of a thing. But you can see some of the other awards here. Excellence in Engineering, the Innovation Control Award, the Rookie Inspiration Award. We always have some rookie teams every year, and it's neat to hear their stories of how they were able to pull it off, form a team, and build a robot and get to the competition during their first year. Various other volunteering roles, all the way from crowd control to queuing. We got our volunteer coordinator and any assistance associated with that. The pit announcer, all types of various roles there. A lot of these roles don't necessarily require the 3-day commitment. In fact, what we're hoping to do, what Dina and I have discussed, is first to say crowd control, maybe breaking that up into, say, 4-hour shifts or things like that. So you could come and spend 4 hours doing that, and then 4 hours, or you spend the rest of your time at the event enjoying yourself or whatever, instead of like being on your feet for a full 8 hours every day, kind of thing. So in some ways, maybe crowd control doesn't sound that exciting, but it is a great way to get up close to the action. And that's one of the things I really enjoy about doing photography, is I kind of just get myself right up close to all the action. If you would like to sign up, you need to register in the VIMS system, the Volunteer Information Management System within FIRST. Nabil knows it's quite a process. There's a lot there. You like it? It was almost like a mortgage application, but FIRST takes it very seriously, and they do want to do a background check. They want to protect the kids that you're involved in, and so, but it's not too bad.
Yes, for the registration, if someone already registered last year, he has to do it this year as well.
Yes, so the question is, if you registered last year, do you need to register this year? The answer is yes. You have to register every year. If you created a profile last year, it's actually very easy. You can go in. But every year you have to select the events for which you would like to participate in. You're welcome to volunteer in Florida or California. If you'd like, you can select those events to volunteer, but we are hoping that you'll volunteer at the New York Tech Valley event. Let's see, what else? So as part of the sign-up process, you will be given a shirt. So we're asked to specify your shirt size, any previous experience that you had involved in volunteering for FIRST. That obviously helps matching people up to roles. Our volunteer coordinator, Dina Olori, will help to match you up to whatever role that we need. And when you come, we would ask that you wear your volunteer or judge shirt every day. That will be provided the first time you arrive. Bring a photo ID. We do want to check you in, make sure we understand which volunteers have actually come and are there each of the days. If you want to get in to the competition floor area, or if your volunteer role is within the competition floor area, you are required to wear safety glasses. So if you have a pair, please bring them. If not, there are safety glasses available. So that is kind of it. Can I answer any questions?
Brad, do we have any plans to set up a table by the cafeteria to get volunteers as they walk in and out?
That is a good question.
Yeah. I think we should do it if we are looking for volunteers.
Yes,
It will be a
absolutely.
good spot.
That is a great idea. Last week I got together with Dina and we were looking at where we were at so far, and I think roughly we're 50% scheduled.
Yes.
So we're looking for, out of the 140 or so, we're looking for roughly another 70 people.
Maybe it will be
Yeah.
helpful to set up, for a couple of days,
Uh-huh.
see how much we get.
Mhm.